We could talk to Severin. Hey, Alistair, how's things? How are things going? Nope. Let's try to...
At your service.
Hmm? Something
Well,
private.
we're in camp. Now's
Yeah.
as good a time as any to talk, right?
Yep. Jeez, we don't have enough. We don't have enough for that. Jeez. How much I enjoy your company. Sure, we'll go with
You
that.
know, I was just thinking the same thing.
Even though I lost so much
Given the circumstances,
stuff.
things could have been so much worse. I'm so grateful that you're you instead of some other Grey Warden. That sounds better in my head. I just mean to say that I can't imagine having done this without you.
I feel the same way. Haha, you're so goofy. Let's not go that far. I feel the same way. Let's go with that.
Now we just need to be rid of that pesky archdemon, and everything will be back to normal, right?
It's actually funny in this playthrough. Actually, he doesn't know that he's the bastard.
At your service.
Sure.
Of course.
Why did Templars do exist? He said this. Yeah, you said he raised you.
That? I meant that dogs raised me. Giant slobbering dogs from the Anderfells. A whole pack of them,
Oh,
in fact.
no. That would explain the smell. After you were raised by the Chantry, really, that must have been tough for them. That's why I don't remember
if you're
you.
going to go and pay attention to the facts, then fine. Let's see, how do I explain this? I'm a bastard. And before you make any smart comments, I mean the fatherless kind. My mother was a serving girl in Redcliffe Castle who died when I was very young. Arleman wasn't my father, but he took me in anyhow and put a roof over my head. He was good to me, and he didn't have to be. I respect the man, and I don't blame him anymore for sending me off to the Chantry once I was old enough.
Why did he send you off to the Chantry? He wasn't your father, so who is?
I know who I was told was my father. He died even before my mother did, anyhow. It isn't important. Arleman eventually married a young woman from Orlais, which caused all sorts of problems between him and the king because it was so soon after the war. But he loved her. Anyhow, then you, Arlessa, resented the rumors which pegged me as his bastard. They weren't true, but of course they existed. The Arl didn't care, but she did. So off I was packed to the nearest monastery at age 10, just as well. The Arlessa made sure the castle wasn't a home to me by that point. She despised me.
Well, an awful thing to do to a child. That sounds like a bunch of whining. That's an awful thing to do to a child, honestly.
She felt threatened by my presence, I can see that now. I can't say I blame her. She wondered if the rumors were true herself, I bet. I remember I had an amulet with Andraste's holy symbol on it. The only thing I had of my mother's. I was so furious at being sent away, I tore it off and threw it at the wall and it shattered. Stupid thing to do. The Arl came by the monastery a few times to see how I was, but I was stubborn. I hated it there, and blamed him for everything. And eventually...
as a kid, his train of thought makes sense. And, you know, the fact that he has grown up enough to realize that, you know, that they had their reasons for doing this kind of thing. Anything the Arl will help us. Are you sure he isn't your father? You were young.
And raised by dogs. Or I may as well have been, the way I acted. But maybe all young bastards act like that. I don't know. All I know is that the Arl is a good man, and well loved by the people. He also was King Kaelin's uncle, so he has a personal motivation to see Loghain pay for what he did. Anyway, that's really all there is to the story.
Except for the part you're not telling me.
At your service.
Let's just leave it at that for now. Okay, Severin, shall we talk to you?
A question, if I may.
Go ahead, you may not. It's a really good time. You can go ahead.
Well, here's the thing. I swore an oath to serve you, yes? And I understand the quest you're on, and this is all very fine and well. My question pertains to what you intend to do with me once this business is over with, as a point of curiosity.
Does the oath expire then? Why would you do anything? Why would if this is this after I ravish you in celebration? Oh my god. You could go if you wanted. Oh my god, I'm just gonna go for it with all of them and get them all pissed off and then choose one of them that feels the least weird. Is that after I
Now
ravish?
there's a thought. Normally I am the one doing the ravishing when it comes to comely
Oh, this
lasses.
is hilarious.
I like it. But you are also distracting me from the point. I said I would serve until you released me. One simply assumes that once your Grey Warden business is finished, you would have no need of an assassin to follow you about. Am I wrong?
I could always use a friend. There's always a use for. Oh my god, a handsome elf. That's where I will always need a servant. Trust me, jeez. Not at all. You could go if you wanted. Only problem I have with the Zevran romance is how if you're an elf and he's an elf, I don't know how it works with others, but it feels so condescending, and there's so much of him being mentioned. There's so much talk of him being an elf, and the fact that if you're it shouldn't be about that, and yet look, you know, there's always use or jeez, I can't speak. There's always a use or two for a handsome elf. Like, why do we have to bring up the elf part of this? Which is why I've never been drawn to his romance, even though it makes the best sense probably as an elf, especially if you go rogue elf. It's kind of perfect. And he's nice and all, and he's got interesting stories, but he doesn't have too much of a personality going on. For me, at least. I don't really classify, like, who you like to sleep with as part of your personality. Just that I don't classify that as part of it, so... The fact that I feel like the only things you ever know about him is that he's bi and that he loves Indeed and Lover. It just, like, I want more than that, so... I could always use a friend, but I don't like this because I kind of want to dabble in the romance, but there's always a use for. Yeah, fine.
I'm sure I could come up with a few more if pressed. It is good to know what my options might be, but that is for another time. For now, we have much to do, yes?
I think Alistair gets upset if you talk to him like that. Now let's talk to Liliana.
The stars are out.
For once a clear night. That's great. There is still beauty to be found in the world. Yes, there's still beauty to be found in the world.
It comforts me to know that the stars will remain untouched by the blight. That whatever happens down here, they will shine eternally. Their light undimmed. There is a story about that cluster of stars over there. Do you know it? Elindra and her soldier?
Tell me the story. I don't know many. Tell me its stories. Yes, tell me.
There lived a fair maiden called Elindra. She had many suitors, but spurned them all for she did not love them. One day, Elindra was sitting by her window in her father's castle, singing and dreaming, when her lovely voice caught the attention of a young soldier. Entranced by her song, the soldier drew near to Elindra's window. As their eyes met, he fell in love with her, and she with him. When Elindra told her father about the man she had chosen, he was furious, for Elindra was high-born, but her love nothing more than a common soldier. To keep them apart, he had Elindra imprisoned in the highest tower of his castle, and sent her soldier to the wars. Alas, not a month had passed before news of the soldier's death reached Elindra. Alone in her tower, Elindra wept for her love, and beseeched the gods to deliver her from this cruel world. So earnest was her plea that the gods themselves were moved. They gathered Elindra into their arms and lifted her high into the heavens, where she became a star. The gods also raised up the soul of Elindra's soldier love, and there he dwells, across the horizon from her. The band of stars between them is a river of Elindra's tears, cried for her lost love. They say that when Elindra has cried enough, she will be able to cross the river to be reunited with her soldier.
Yeah, I'll never look at the stars the same way again. That was quite the story. Very beautiful story. Yeah, I'm saying that.
This story is one of my favorites. A tale of a love so great and so enduring that it defies death and moves the gods to action. Sometimes I ask myself, does such a love exist? Can it exist?
Some people get lucky, and many others don't. Few loves are so powerful that it, yeah. I mean, there is some truth in that statement. Real love. Oh my god, real love is a mix of lust and attachment. Nothing more. Few loves are so powerful. These are both very true. They're all true. It may exist, but it never lasts. That, it can. If the two people get along that well. It has to be the right mix of personality, because there's so much to it. If we lose hope in love, then we are truly lost. Few loves are so powerful.
I think I would be lucky to experience an emotion even half as pure and true as Elindra's love.
And you'll find a person worthy of your love. We should all be so lucky. Friendship is a kind of love too. I mean, yes, it is a kind of love too. Yeah. One day you'll find a person worthy of that love.
The world gets lonely too quickly if there is no one to share it with.
Now, let's try to talk to you.
Yes.
I have a question.
Surprised.
Oh, why did you come to
To answer a
Ferelden?
question.
What was the
Were
answer?
you not at Ostagar when the army was overwhelmed? That is your answer.
Why don't you report back
Yes.
then? Then what are you still doing here
I
then?
cannot go home.
Oh, why not?
It doesn't matter now. Can we move on? We keep the dark
Let's
spawn
get your
waiting.
sword, man. I don't want to backtrack to get your sword. I want to discuss it.
As you wish.
Let's go.
Yes.
Can I ask you about it again? And
Speak,
you
then.
mentioned that's enough for
Then I
now,
suggest
okay,
we
so I
move on.
can't do it.
As you wish.
Morganth, hey. Jeez, I got like 4. I feel like Zevran is the easiest person to romance when it comes to approval rating
What
and
do you
stuff.
wish of me?
I'd like to ask you something.
If you must.
Have you been hunted by the
My mother
Chantry?
has been hunted from time to time, yes, by Templar fools like Alistair, which should tell you how successful they generally were. Flemeth made a bit of a game of it, in fact. The Templars would come again, and she would look at me and smile and say that the fun was to begin once more.
Oh. Fun, you found it fun. I feel
found the
sorry for the
game fun.
Templars.
I was too
should have
young to
picked that.
understand the truth behind
well.
what was happening.
Mm.
Flemeth would warn them once. 'Twas a warning they inevitably failed to heed. And
Right.
then the true game began. Often Flemeth would use me as bait. A little girl to scream and run and lure
that's
the Templars
hilarious.
deeper into the wilds and to their doom.
Thaumazizi, did you actually kill them all? Surely more would have followed. Did you actually kill them all?
Me? No, I never did any of the killing until later. And even then, Flemeth was a glutton for that sort of thing.
Right.
Thankfully, the wilds is a vast place. Once they found us, Flemeth would simply move us elsewhere, and we would be lost
I
within
never
the
noticed the
forest
feathers
once
on
again.
her.
I did not
her
understand
arm
the danger
thing.
we faced until I was much older. I had never heard of apostates or maleficarum.
Don't you regret any of those men at all? What exactly is an apostate? You probably thought you were dangerous. Good reason. Still think that was fun. They got what they deserved.
Perhaps they did. Still, I do not begrudge them doing what they believe is necessary.
At
The
least you're
Chantry
reasonable.
sees any mages not leashed to the circle of magi as apostates, and apostates could become maleficarum, evil mages that resort to blood magic and become demon-enslaved abominations. It may even be true. Still, those of us who prefer freedom see no reason to submit.
Meaning what, will fight you to the end? Have you no responsibility for those around you? The circle is not quite what you picture. I agree completely, if say so. No, I actually agree completely. I think there's a balance that needs to be found because the Templars, I think, have their place. We have situations like Jowen where they're just their willpower isn't there for them to be a mage that would make the right decisions, that would be mentally strong enough to resist a demon. And so you have that problem of if you have the wrong personality of if the person has the wrong personality but is a mage, it can be a total disaster. But like Morgan wouldn't slip into that. She wouldn't do that. She's completely has a grip on herself. She's a case of Templars aren't needed. But there are so many cases like Jowen where that kind of safety measure has to be taken for the sake of other people who aren't magically attuned. And I mean, our character, yeah, I mean, I plan on getting the Blood Mage class, but I do agree with her completely. It just she's very reasonable once you actually get her to open up a little. I agree completely.
An interesting answer for a mage. Enough of this talk. Let us return to the task at hand.
Aw, I can't talk to you more?
I await your command. At times, perhaps.
At times, was
it?
Really?
A world full of people and buildings and things was all very foreign to me. If I wished companionship, I ran with the wolves and flew with the birds. If I spoke, 'twas to the trees.
That sounds wonderful.
For a time, but one can only remain a child
right.
for so long.
That is true.
I recall the first time I crept beyond the edge of the wilds. I did so in animal form, remaining in the shadows and watching these strange townsfolk from afar. I happened upon a noblewoman by her carriage, adorned in sparkling garments, the likes of which I had never before seen. I was dazzled. This, to me, seemed what true wealth and beauty must be. I snuck up behind her and stole a hand mirror from the carriage. It was encrusted in gold and crystalline gemstones, and I hugged it to my chest with delight as I sped back to the wilds.
So you're a thief? What happened then? Can't imagine Flemeth was pleased.
She was not.
Aww.
Flemeth was furious with me. I was a child and had not yet come into my full power, and I had risked discovery for the sake of a pretty bauble. To teach me a lesson, Flemeth took the mirror and smashed it upon the ground. I was heartbroken.
That was cruel. But you were just a child. I have had our time heartbroken. Flemeth was right, no doubt, but you were just a child.
And a foolish one. Flemeth was right to break me of my fascination. Beauty and love are fleeting and have no meaning. Survival has meaning. Power has meaning. Without those lessons, I would not be here today, as difficult as they might have been.
That statement I have to disagree with. Those are harsh lessons to teach a child. They made you strong, didn't they? But you don't need to live that way any longer.
Do I not? I am still an apostate mage, even if I have left the wilds. The Darkspawn are yet undefeated. No, there is much that remains. To return to your original question, perhaps my time in the wilds was indeed lonely, but such was how it had to be. I find myself at times wondering what might have become of the girl with the beautiful golden mirror, but such fantasies have no place amidst reality.
Cool. Let's see, how much more can I...
Your command.
Yeah. I'd like to ask you something.
Full of questions, are you?
Is Flemeth really what she seems?
Well, that depends.
We know that that's...
What does she seem to be?
What a powerful Malakari. A nutty old bat. Powerful Malakari.
You mean, is she truly the Flemeth of legend and story?
Well...
How much do you know of the tale? The one that the chastened still tell of my mother, to frighten them into obedience.
Didn't even know there was such a thing. I've heard a little of it. I'm more interested in the truth. Spare me the bit. I'm more interested in the truth.
I can relay what Flemeth once told me herself. and you can decide whether or not 'tis the truth, if you desire.
That sounds interesting.
As the tale is sung by the bards, there was a time when Flemeth was young and beautiful, a fair lass in a land of barbarian men, the desire of any who saw her.
Just how long ago was this? Yes, I've heard this part. Not true then?
No, quite true, but this part only.
Oh.
The tales say that Flemeth fell in love with Osen the bard, and fled the castle of her husband, the dread Lord Conabar, and that he swore vengeance for her infidelity.
Right.
In truth, my mother claims that 'twas Osen who was her husband, and Conabar the jealous lord who looked on from afar. Lord Conabar approached young Osen and offered him wealth and power in exchange for his lovely wife, and Osen agreed.
What does we have to know? She must have been English. Seems like a fairy tale. Oh my god. Now that no female warden would say that. So why is that an option if you're a female warden? Jeez. Flemeth must have been angry.
The life of a bard is a poor one, and love fades in the wake of hunger. 'Twas Flemeth who suggested the arrangement.
Wow.
All would have been well had Lord Conabar kept his end of the bargain. But he was a foul man who bargained with coin he did not possess. Osen was led off to a field and slain, left for dead. Flemeth spoke to the spirits and learned of the deed, and swore revenge.
She spoke to spirits or demons? But wasn't she married to a, So she truly loved Osen then?
That was not the point. Conabar had no honor, so she would not have him. Flemeth begged the spirits to aid her, and 'twas they who slew Conabar. The demon the legend tells of came later. Lord Conabar's allies chased Flemeth, you see. Chased her to the wilds, and there she hid. There she found the demon, and he made her strong. The legends all speak of the great hero Cormac, he who defeated Flemeth and her great army when she invaded the lowlands centuries later. All lies.
Of course, some of which she never invaded or he never defeated her.
The truth of the matter is that there was never an invasion. As Flemeth tells it, the Chastened never raised an army under her banner, and she never fought with any warrior named Cormac. Cormac led a brutal civil war against his own people, and later claimed it was to vanquish evil that had taken root amongst the lords. Thus, he was hailed a hero.
Right.
Flemeth was only attached to the legend much later. Perhaps 'twas due to the Great War with the Chastened that eventually came, but Mother claims not to know how it began.
Do you believe her version?
I do not believe everything that Flemeth claims. Oft it seems her bitterness has colored her memories. But on the whole, yes, I believe this tale, if not all.
Legend tales of her having many daughters. Aren't abominations usually insane horrors? An interesting story, thank you. All sounds like hogwash. The legends tell the... So how is the life so long?
The demon within her has transformed her into something else. An abomination, perhaps some would say. I know not. I only know my mother is clever.
Isn't
she
she
is
a
part of the
god or
wilds as it is
something?
part of her. But she is no immortal. She bleeds. A blade in her heart would kill her like any other.
But she can
were
turn
it
into a
lucky enough
dragon.
to find her.
Legend tells she has many daughters.
You ask if I have sisters. I have asked of this myself. The stories tell of many witches of the wilds after all, not just the one. And these tales existed long before I did. Flemeth refuses to speak of other daughters, if they existed. So, should I believe I am her first? I doubt that too.
Why would she refuse to speak of them?
The Chastened tell of a falling out between Flemeth and her daughters. They say that one day she hunted them all through the wilds and ate their hearts. It may be true.
Wow, that's brutal.
I have never seen another witch or heard of one. Perhaps one day Flemeth will eat my heart as well.
An interesting story. Thank you.
Flemeth tells it with far more embellishment than I, but you are welcome. Dare I ask of your own mother, Few are abominations of legend, 'tis
Hmm.
true, but I find myself curious nevertheless.
There's nothing really to say about her. I love her. What else do you want to know? Keep your curiosity to yourself. My mother died long ago. I love her. What else do you want to know?
Nothing. I wish to know nothing more. I find myself a little envious, to tell the truth. But it matters not. Let us move on.
Okay. Interesting. Can I talk
await
to
your
you?
command.
Something
We're in
personal?
camp, so 'tis as good a time as any.
But why are you still here? I'm not asking that. Okay, cool. We talked to everyone. We haven't talked to Gollum.
I see it
Shale,
found some
sorry.
augmentation crystals. I was not even aware it knew about them. Well done. So, what does it think? They don't make me look any wider, do they? I find I'm already too wide as it is.
No, they're quite slimming. I think they're so pretty. They look fine, I suppose. Don't be ridiculous, they're useful. No, they look quite
It must be
slimming.
the vertical pattern it put them in. Did it know to do that? It must have. I think it should find some more as soon as possible. I want to glitter from ear to ear, so to speak.
Okay.
Oh,
You... What's with the heavy sigh?
that. Merely reflecting on the hopeless nature of the task in front of it. The most likely outcome is that it and its companions will become a stain on some rock for the Darkspawn to tread upon. I shall be moved to a single tear by the tragedy.
Won't we be right next to your staying? Glad to know you care at least. I don't think our chances are so bad. Won't we be right?
I think not. I am made of pure rock, skin to core. At best, I can become a pile of dust, but a smear I will definitely not leave behind. That's for softer, squishier things like itself and its friends. What's that? Did it hear flapping wings? There may be pigeons nearby. We should be alert.
What? Oh. So I gained to lose, so now I'm back to... Oh, Meatbag, how's it going?
Look at what your fool dog placed in my pack.
Oh, what did he do?
A putrid, half-eaten hare is not something a woman wants to find in her unmentionables.
It's the thought that counts. He means well. Can't be slinkier than what normally. I think he thinks you need more meat on your bones. Why doesn't he share his food with me? It's the thought that counts. He means
Mongrel
well.
can have this back. There. And tell him not to do it again.
Don't do it. You heard the lady. It was a gift. Can't throw it away like that. You're a war dog, not a nursemaid. You heard the lady. Oh.
I don't want it, you worthless fur bag.
It's Meatbag, not Furbag. You're so cute. I think you've hurt his feelings. You're a mean lady. That dog is too smart for his own good.
He is certainly manipulative, I can tell. I do it too.
Oh. 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 What is happening? Aww. Back away slowly, watch Steady Meatbag. Aww.
You are a true warrior and worthy of respect.
Aw, that was sweet. Only takes into trying to find your way through the earth, are we? Bad dog, stop that. You're making a mess. Oh, it keeps digging. I'm going to take some time. Oh, don't be silly. You're just making a mess at the campsite. Alright, have fun then. It's going to take time. Keeps digging. Aw. Keeps digging. Well, good luck with that then. Aw. I love that they gave you these interactions with him. Okay, so let's hard save. And where should we venture forth to? If we go to Ostagar... Or should we go... Oh man, I don't know where we should go.